awesome people. I hope you're having just an absolutely amazing day today. Today I'm taking a look at the fifth short story in this collection of 8 called Renegade Swords 2. For you folks, it's called The Unlawful Hunter by Keith Taylor. For you folks, this is a guy who published this short story, and the next one is also a sequel by the same guy, the father of a main character, an Irish bard that he is well known for, written a few novels of, I think 5, and some short stories enough too. And this tells his sort of a journey. And there are 2 short stories that are published in Weird Tales in '88 that have never been collected before, so they are collected here on some for you folks. And this will introduce him and talk about him and so forth. And it's 17 pages long. I read it last night, about 45-50 minutes for the first time. This Merritt's collection also has it's a sequel. It's all about things, characters that might be by popular authors that just have never picked up steam, oftentimes because it's the only work, or things that just haven't been published in a while. And in some cases, it's just a second publish of those things. And this has 2 Rack Here, The Archer ones by Michael Moorcock, which I've read for you already. We also have Marchers of Valhalla by Robert E. Howard. We had Killer, I just previously did this 24-page one by David Drake and Karl Edward Wagner from the 70s. And then another 2 by Keith Taylor. Then we have The Pool of the Stone God by Abraham Merritt. I like to say his name because it's my name, Abraham. And then Stone Skin by John Morressy, which I've never read anything by, so I'll be interested to check out those last 3 ones after we left, and so forth. And then this is a sequel to one that also had to one by Robert E. Howard's character from The Killers in set, and then it's also very Sword and Sorcery. And then also it had one by Clark Ashton Smith. And then one by Abraham Merritt too, and then it also had Manly Wade Wellman short story from the 80s that was not republished in from the Cardiacs of Atlantis ones. And then also it had one, if I recall, 2 by Lynn Carter, and then I can't remember the last one off the top of my head. Oh, it's by the guy who wrote the School of Thought series, and I think another one too. Richard Tierney's, no, he created that guy. Simon Megas is the I think it's Richard Tierney, but I don't remember top of my head. I'll book it for him. And so forth. So this is a sequel to those. It's all Sword and Sorcery stuff. And there we are. So this is The Unlawful Hunter, 17 pages long. It's the first of the father. It tells his short story by Keith Taylor, and so forth. Now his daughter is an Irish. I think it's a daughter. I don't know her name. But they don't gender her in the prequel. They don't use gender titles and so forth. But I think it's a female name, right? But his child rather. Is a bard in the Irish, a famous person, heavily protagonist from his novels and such. And this is set in the Irish myth in the world too. So you'll actually come across things like Sam Hain and stuff like that too when this is set. And this is our father, and so forth. He comes from a long line of famous bards in Ireland, and so forth. But he doesn't want to follow the path of his parents. And so, he's one of his best friends, and is his uncle, who is his brother's adopted. I'm sorry, his father's adopted brother. So he's not a blood uncle, but he's a little bit of a criminal at times and so forth. So he tells him on the second page that he doesn't want to be a bard and follow in his parents' footsteps. And then what happens, no spoilers, in the next 16 pages is going to tell you what's going to happen. It's going to push him to telling his dad. And he now embraces he's not going to be a bard like his famous ancestors for like 1,000 years. So there you are. So that's going to be the story of the father of this character, this famous character, and they'll have a sequel, which I haven't read yet for you folks. But that's the setup of what's happening. And then so they're going to be committing some crimes and such. Himself and a group of fellow guys from his village against the nearby people. It's set on Sam Hain, so obviously some Sam Hain things will happen. No spoilers, obviously, and so forth. But that is The Unlawful Hunter for you, folks. And there you are. So that's again by Keith Taylor. The first thing I've read by Keith Taylor for you folks is the introductory story of a prequel. That was set in published in '88 in Weird Tales for you folks. Now, what do I think? It's fine. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's bad. It's probably like a 7 out of 10. for folks. It's not the best short story I've ever read. It's not the worst short story I've read, right, and so forth. But it's fine. I don't really think it's got something major to tell. I don't think it's got like any messages. The combat scenes felt a little fast at times. What ends up happening? No surprises. Spoilers isn't exactly a surprise if you've been following Irish mythology, folk tales, and that sort of a thing. Right, so it feels a little lovey. I think it definitely comes from a place of love for Irish mythologies and so forth, and legends and such. But yeah, it's good stuff. I like it lots. But it's a 7 out of 10. I wouldn't give it higher, like a 7.5. I would give it lower, like a 6.5. Right, the combat scenes are fine, but they're a little short and so forth. And then there's very little sorcery until the end. But there you go. That is Sword and Sorcery, the Killer. That's the Unlawful Hunter. Killer, better short story by David Drake and Karl over Wagner. I give it an 8 to. Loved lots. But this one wasn't that really sold me. So, barring the next one being really strong weight, it's called The Haunting of Mara. I probably won't be checking out Keith Taylor's novels or other short stories about the character that this is the father of. Yeah, but you're about to be very. You might, if you already love it, you might be like, yeah, when I get some more Keith Taylor short stories, let's see them. Yay! You're right. 7 out of 10 is fine. All right, if I got a 7 out of 10, decades later, from a short story that I published in '88, I'd be very happy about that. All right, so you're not maybe very about 7 out of 10, but it's fine. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's not the best thing in the world. So there you are. So that's my quick review, spoiler free. Now have you read it? If so, what did you think about it? Tell me about your thoughts. And if you agree or disagree with my 7 out of 10 only, please keep this spoiler free for people that might not have heard of it or read of it or have picked up this collection now like I am. Or haven't. So they might be new to it too, just like I am. So thanks. But what did you think, and whether or not you agree or disagree? Your thoughts are just as valid as mine is. Remember, I'm not a trained critic. I didn't study literature or criticism as in college or grad school. I was a political science major. And in public administration for grad school. I'm just a fan, right? So I'm not coming to this from a place of critics. So you're about to, and if you are a critic, you're probably this is probably going to be better than mine is, right? No problems about that. So I'd definitely be interested if you are a trained literature student or critic thereof. So there you are. And then, if you like this video, why not hit that subscribe button to be notified, and then the like button, and then the bell icon also to be notified of my videos. I try to do three reviews of these older short stories in this genre, fantasy or science fiction or horror too, for you folks to check those out. 3 of those a week. I also do older things like video games. I do role-playing game stuff. I have on Mondays. I try to dedicate that to war games, to role-playings or war games stuff like top 10s or reviews of things, that sort of a thing. I'm also doing Wednesdays. I do a video game review. I also have Saturday dedicated to the serial, the forgotten genre, that sort of a thing. So definitely check this out if those are your interests. And thank you so much for swinging by my video and just embracing it, right? Because we all have so many things that are happening, right, in our lives, and we're pulled in so many different directions. So the fact that you spend time with me, that's incredibly humbling. And I appreciate it so very, very much. So thanks again. Once again, the channel on my title is named The Worst Thing About New Books. It's a quote by French philosopher Jacques Joubert, who said that the worst thing about them was that they kept us from reading the old books. There's definitely some older stuff that we might have forgotten about. In this case, they're heavily influential on today's stuff. So there you are. So that's the passion of the channel. And again, comes from where all the various things I do. All right. Thanks again, and have an amazing day.